Bhagwan. My name is Zain Hussein. I'm a registered psychotherapist, qualifying and founder of Unshakable Coaching. Here in this video, we are going to conduct a life audit for a fake person named Raj, which you can do on yourself. The reason is very important. You need to understand exactly where your time is going and how best to spend it so that you can move forward with clarity and actually hit your goals, because you don't actually have a discipline problem. You have other problems, but they're not discipline. So without further ado, I'm going to show you in this video how you can conduct a life audit. We're going to take somebody, we're going to call this guy Raj, okay? Raj is 27 years old. He works an IT tech job, high performing guy, very he's after it. And he goes to the gym, let's say 4 times a week. And we're going to leave that. He goes to the gym. He has a girlfriend. They just got together. Priya's her name. They're very excited. He lives at home with his parents. Okay. How Raj comes to me. Raj goes, Zain, man, I need you to help me conduct a life audit on myself. How can I do so? First of all, this is what we do. Okay. We go back 14 days in time, and we need to understand exactly where Raj has spent his time. Where has Raj actually spent his time? And the best way to do it is actually while telling yourself to conduct a life audit for the next 14 days, note down every single thing you're doing and then conduct a life audit. It's going to work way better. Don't change a single thing about your life. So let's say Raj has journaled for the last 14 days, and he comes back to me and he goes, Zain, I have a tangible list of things that I've done from, let's say, so we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And this is going to obviously repeat over the course of whatever. So let's say Monday, we come up with his Monday action items. Now, Monday and Friday are most likely going to be the same because remember, Raj is working a job. He probably has a 9-to-5 routine. So Monday to Friday is our days of constant. So I want you to remember that. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. Monday to Friday is his constant day, meaning there's not a lot of changes. Saturday and Sunday is where there's some variability, which is what most people go through. Okay. So now we need to understand where his time has gone so that we can optimize this guy's life. There's 2 categories that we really want to talk about today, okay? The first one that we're working on right now is tangible things that Raj is doing in his day-to-day life, going to work, going to the gym, tangible things that you cannot change. So that's one thing. The other one is non-tangible things that he doesn't even know where his time has gone, right? Because that's a problem. Raj is like, yo, I don't have time. No, Raj, you have time. You have time. You just don't know it yet. And after that, we're going to talk about cognitions. Because the thing is, Raj's mind is also cluttered. He has a lot of clutter in his mind, which prevents him from moving forward with clarity. A cluttered mind cannot complete tasks with complete, clarity. It's going to be hard. You're going to feel sluggish. You're going to feel fatigued. You're going to feel tired. But I'm going to talk about this later in the video. You're going to wake up on days feeling like you have nothing to give. You're going to feel low energy, and I'm going to describe exactly why that's happening. So let's go back to Monday to Friday. So Raj wakes up, right? Raj wakes up. Let's say it's, oh, God, I butchered that. Hold on. Yikes. Let's say Raj talks to me about Monday. So what is Raj doing on a Monday? Let's talk about that first. So let's say he wakes up. Okay, he wakes up at, let's say, 8 a.m. And from 8 a.m. to, let's say, 5 p.m., he has work. 5 to 7, he goes to the gym. And 11 p.m., he sleeps. From 8 a.m., he needs to understand the first thing, which is how is he getting ready for his day. So let's say at 8 a.m., he wakes up and he guns 2 coffees and he showers and he's off to work. Okay. This can be is a non-negotiable. Work can't be changed. Now we have something here, right here, 2 coffees and his shower. This is something we can play with right here, right? So he goes to work, and at work, one thing to know is he has a lunch break, okay? And he comes home from work, and he goes to the gym at 7. And you might be wondering, yo, what's he doing between 5 to 7? I'll tell you. And Raj himself doesn't know. See, the thing is, Raj just goes to the gym when he comes home from work. But turns out every time he does do that, he ends up going at 7 for some weird reason. And that's what we're going to figure out, because why are you going at 7 if you're going after work? See, the thing is, you can't change work, right? At his lunch break, though, what does Raj do? At his lunch break, so lunch, he does what? He snacks, he has another coffee, and let's say he has a junky lunch. Most likely he does. He's gonna treat himself. So the first thing we're gonna change with Raj's schedule from Monday to Friday is changing these things, these preliminary activities, such that he can wake up and go to work feeling way more recharged, way better. How do you actually prep yourself in the morning to attack the tasks in front of you? Well, to start, ideally, you would delay caffeine for at least, I know most of you can't, for at least 30 minutes. You would do 1 liter of water immediately upon waking up, and you would stretch. Believe me, I used to think stretching was woo-woo bullshit. Bro, stretching will really do wonders for you if you just give it a chance and try doing it. I'm telling you, when you do it with intention, and that's the premise of this entire video, when you do things with intention, they really work. So he stretches, 1 liter of water, he delays his caffeine by 30 minutes, and let's say one more thing. What else could he do? Let's say he does some sort of prayer. Okay, so he reframes all of that stuff that he was doing, and he does these things instead. Now he's going to go to work. He's going to feel a little bit more recharged, a little bit more ready to attack the day. He's going to go to work. He's going to do his duties. Lunch, instead of snacking on junky lunch, he's going to do this instead. He's going to do more water. Okay. He's going to have a protein-heavy lunch, and he's going to have slow digesting carbs. And the reason is we want to prep our lunch break during the day such that we're ready to go to the gym later. Think about it. If you have a really crappy lunch at work, you're going to feel sluggish all the way through 5 to 7. You're going to feel sluggish. So we're going to change that lunch so that it's something that supports his nutrition and his goals. So now, and let's say we throw in another coffee, because why not? Okay. So Raj is done work. He comes home. Okay. From this point forward, when he comes home from work, he is tired and fatigued. And what do most people do when they're tired or fatigued? They reach for dopamine activities, because your brain conceptualizes it and goes, yo, I'm tired. I just want to do whatever. And maybe you never know. So let's say he's tired and fatigued. The first thing I would do to ensure that Raj is good to go is, number one, doing mindful scrolling. Yeah, I'm going to tell him to scroll, because we can't deny it. Scrolling helps. Scrolling can make you feel recharged, whatever. So mindful scrolling for how long? 20 minutes. That means Raj comes home from work, he changes, does whatever. And one thing actually that I would add in here as well is ice cold water on face, just so that you get a little boost, feel a little bit better, whatever. Mindful scrolling for 20 minutes on TikTok, because IG Reels are kind of gross. I'm not going to lie to you. TikTok is a lot better, and especially if you click on the STEM tab. Bro, if I really want STEM, go to STEM. Well, let's say he doesn't do that. Okay. 20 minutes scrolling mindfully on TikTok, which means he's going to sit down. He's going to think, I am tired and fatigued after a long day. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to scroll TikTok. But this means he hasn't done so all day. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine going a whole day without scrolling social media? Yeah, because I can, brother. I haven't scrolled, so I produce content. I don't scroll. And that is something that he must do. If he wants to have clarity, he wants to move forward with discipline, he needs to learn how to do that. But maybe he adds in a scroll during lunch. Fine. We'll do 10-minute mindful scroll. Sure. Okay. And I want him to ask himself afterwards, do a quick check. How did I just feel watching what I did? That's feedback, right? That's feedback. Okay. Now he does mindful scrolling for 20 minutes on TikTok. He's going to feel a little bit better. He's going to feel slightly more recharged. And now what is he going to do is, after this mindful scroll on TikTok, he's going to have a very quick digesting carbohydrate meal. He's not going to have protein right now. Protein is going to take time to digest, no fats. He's going to have a quick digesting carb, and he's going to have no caffeine. Yeah, no caffeine. Because here's what's happening, man. When you have that caffeine at 5 p.m., that caffeine carries on till like midnight minimum, because caffeine has a half-life of 5 hours. So he's not going to have any caffeine, no pre-workout, nothing of that sort. He can have a non-stim pre-workout. Sure, if he likes the tingle in his skin or whatever, he can have a non-stim pre-workout. Then he goes to the gym. He works out with intention. Okay? And his workout can only be 45 minutes. We don't want to waste any time. So therefore, he can actually go to the gym. When, guys? He can go to the gym at 6 instead of 7. So suddenly we have free time now. So he comes home from the gym. Let's say he works out at 6, comes home at 7. Let's say the gym is relatively close, comes home at 7:15. From 7:15 to 8 p.m. now, he has all of this time. What is he going to do? He's not going to eat his post-workout and hang out and watch YouTube, because, again, this guy's mindful. He wants to change. He's going to have his post-workout. So no, he's actually going to have his shower, and he's going to do a cold rinse right after. And doing that cold rinse, I'm telling you, will recharge him. It'll clear his head. He will feel revitalized. But here is the trick. This is where everything will go either south or north. From this point forward, what he chooses to do with the rest of his night will determine over here, for example, Monday to Friday, right? It will determine how he feels on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and moving forward. Why? Because if on Monday he does what I just told him to do, the next day when he wakes up on Tuesday, he's not going to feel as if he doesn't have a lot to give because he rejuvenated himself. Tuesday, if he typically woke up feeling like a 40 out of 100, or fine, Tuesday is not super bad, it's early in the week. Let's say he woke up on Tuesday feeling 60s on most days. He would wake up on Tuesday feeling 70% at his capacity. And that is the entire nuance behind this. Is on your Monday, you want to wake up on a Monday feeling at least 100. I know maybe fine, you feel 90. Tuesday, you want to carry that, you want to feel 85. Wednesday, you want to carry that, right? You want to feel 80. Okay, it's going to go down because fatigue accumulates throughout the week. Thursday, this is a trick. Thursday, he might end up waking up at 60, but then Friday, he can wake up at 70 if he plays his cards right on Thursday and rejuvenates himself once more. Everything goes south, though, here on Saturday and Sunday. What he chooses to do on his weekends sets the tone for the rest of his week. So let's go back to his routine. So it's 8 p.m. now. What is Raj going to do, guys? Raj comes to me. Raj goes, Zain, I'm working on a side project. It means a lot to me. I need to be financially free, yada, yada, yada. 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. because he had the cold rinse. He's eaten good all day. Caffeine was cut out. He's going to feel a little tired. Maybe we can give him some tea, like a herbal night tea or whatever, just so that he has something to drink, because that is important. If you're used to drinking coffee all the time, you need something to hold. Like, bro, I have my water. Like, you need something to hold so you feel like, okay, I'm still doing my thing. Tea, herbal tea. And from 1 hour, he's going to do deep work. And he's going to prep himself. And now, from 9 to 11 is 2 hours of self-care, bro. How are you going to spend your self-care? Well, he's going to do something called hygiene, right? Because you're a dude, bro. You want to make sure you're shaved everywhere. You want to make sure you're taking care of yourself. You got your lineup. So he's going to do a check-in with himself and say, okay, hygienic-wise, am I okay? Like, do I have anything I need to worry about? Okay, that's fine. He moves on from hygiene. Now he thinks, okay, maybe there's something else I have to do. Maybe I have to prep for like work, or maybe I have to do something. He's going to do everything from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. only for the sole reason of making Tuesday easier. That's it. And that is the trick. You have to treat every day like you're living for the next one in order to make the next one easier. So let's say from 10 p.m. onwards to 11 or 9 to 11, whatever, he sets himself up so that the next day he wakes up, he has, let's say, more time to shower, right? Let's say he has more time. Let's say he goes on a walk before work. Healthy shit that the world has been telling you to do, he starts doing. And now, from the days where he would wake up typically, let's say he woke up before on Tuesday feeling, let's say 70, now he's going to wake up on Tuesday, he's going to feel 80. That means Wednesday he's going to wake up, he's going to feel, 80 again, maybe 75. And that's the energy that we're going to carry on throughout the week. So he repeats this throughout the week, but now here's the trick. Is this sustainable? And that is the real question. Maybe it's not. So here's what's going to happen. Raj trains on Monday, right? If I would change the schedule, I would do Monday gym, Tuesday gym, and Wednesday, because it's the middle of the week, no gym, right? So now it's like, okay, how do I set up his schedule for Wednesday? Well, it's the same thing, right? He does his morning routine, right? Comes home from work, and instead of eating junk food and sitting around on the couch from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m., he's going to spend time rejuvenating himself. So 5 p.m., he goes to get a massage because he's tired, he's been working out. All right. Let's say 7 p.m., the massage is post work or whatever. 7 p.m., he decides to call a friend, right? He wants to check in with someone, call a friend. Okay, he doesn't go and hang out with a friend to the wee hours of the night just because the week has been hectic. He does that very strategically. Raj is protecting his time like his life depends on it. 7 p.m., he calls a friend, hangs on. Maybe while he calls a friend, he goes for a nature walk while he does that. Okay? This is assuming Raj doesn't live in the boonies in freaking Canada where it's disgustingly winter. He's in a good place. So he goes for a walk in nature and calls a friend. And then he comes home at 9 p.m., right? He's got his steps done. He had a good meal. He eats a healthier meal, right? He's not eating junk like crazy because junk is inflammatory. It's going to do things to him. It's going to take energy away from the next day. There's one thing you're going to take away from this video is when you do certain things, it takes away from the next day. You might feel great right now, but anything you do dopaminergically, anything you do that spikes your dopamine like crazy, makes you feel really great for a short period of time, the next day it's taking a tax. It's taking that tax from the next day. So 9 p.m. he eats a healthier meal. Maybe fine, he splurges a little bit. He has 2 slices of pizza. I'm a human too. I get it. Okay, he has 2 slices of pizza. But now from 10 to 11, what he does is he thinks to himself, Saturday and Sunday are coming up, and he doesn't just raw dog his weekend. Raj is smart. Raj is working with me. He doesn't raw dog his weekend. So what he does now is plans for the weekend. Okay. So now let's say Raj comes to me. He goes, Zane, like I've knocked out my Monday to Friday routine. It's going great. I give myself a nice recharge on Wednesday. Wednesday is my self-care day. I feel good. But what do I do about my weekends? No worries, Raj. That's why I'm here. So let's say Saturday rolls around. Okay. The one thing I would tell Raj to do, man, listen, you've been waking up at 8 a.m. from Monday to Friday. Why sleep in now? Why mess up your circadian rhythm now? Wake up on 8 a.m. on a Saturday. And he might think, but there's nothing to look forward to. What do I do? I don't have to get out. Well, 8 a.m. on a Saturday. Remember how I said he goes to the gym Monday, Tuesday, no gym. Thursday, he goes to the gym, right? So let's say Thursday, he goes to the gym. Friday, he goes to the gym. 4-day plan. Saturday is his, we're gonna call this fun cardio. Not the kind of cardio you guys are thinking of. Fun cardio. So it's 8 a.m. He has something to look forward to, which is, let's say, biking. Raj loves biking. He hasn't done it in a long time. He has a mission in front of him. He joins a biking group. Community builds strength. So he goes and joins a biking group that meets 8 a.m. every Saturday. So now he has something to do. So he wakes up and now he has something called meaningful exercise. Exercise can be boring. Sometimes I do exercise that's really boring, but most of the time I make sure exercise is something that I actually enjoy. And that is the crux of everything. You have to do things you actually enjoy. Just because you're trying to get jacked doesn't mean you have to eat freaking chicken and broccoli. You can spice it up, make it delicious, right? So he does meaningful exercise. Now it's 11 a.m. Raj has worked out. He feels good. He had his post-workout smoothie. He's feeling good. And he has 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. all in front of him. 11 a.m. to, let's say, 3 p.m. is spent doing things that are necessary. So necessary expenditures. These can be, again, hygiene, taking care of your skin. This can be cleaning. But remember, he has a girlfriend. Ooh, we forgot about her, right? We forgot about Preeti or Priya or whatever I named her. Well, now he's going to dedicate time to his girlfriend on this Saturday. Dedicate time for loved ones that are non-negotiable. Loved ones don't have to be negotiable. Loved ones can also be non-negotiable. Loved ones don't have to be non-negotiable. They can be negotiable. So maybe his auntie that he wants to meet or who's been begging him to help clean her garage can be pushed to this Saturday instead of the random Thursday, because Raj has learned to set something called boundaries with loved ones, because he's told people in his life, yo, I'm on a new wave. I'm trying to fix myself. I'm trying to get on my grind. I'm trying to love myself more. I'm trying to figure out who I am. That means, auntie, I can't help you move your garage stuff on Thursday after work because I have to go to the gym. Maybe he doesn't say that, but he says, I'll help you on a Saturday at, let's say, 3 p.m. So we're going to name this non-negotiable loved ones. Okay. Now remember, Raj is living with his family as well. So every day he has to give some time to his family, which he can squeeze in with the meals that he has. He doesn't have to do any of this alone. He can squeeze in those meals. He can go take his meal with his parents and say, listen, I'm eating here. What's up? How was your day? Everything comes down to intention. So this is pretty much how we would summarize his Saturday. Now Sunday, this is where a lot of people mess it up again. Sunday, all right, does not mean a free day. Sunday, let's say I let him sleep until noon. I'm like, Raj, bro, you've been doing so good. Sleep until noon. It's okay. You deserve it. All right. Now he has from 12 noon to, again, 10 p.m. What's he going to do with that time? So 12 to 6, okay, 6 hours deep work he's going to spend on his side hustle. Okay. If you can dedicate 6 hours of deep quality work to any endeavor or task in your life, believe me, it'll change your life. So 6 hours he dedicates to his side hustle. He's already cleaned everything for the week. He's taking care of himself. He's hung out with Priya. He's texting her. Things are good. Things are moving. From 6 to 10 p.m., Raj is now going to set himself up for the next week. How is he going to do that? From 6 to 8 p.m., he's going to plan the next week moving forward. How's he going to do that? He's going to plan his meals. So maybe that means he meal preps, which is another form of self-care. Then what else does he do? He plans work. So nothing can come out of his way. The entire idea behind this is making your schedule predictable so that nothing blindsides you. And when nothing blindsides you, the less things you have that blindside you, the better you will be at clarity, the better you will be at moving forward on the dedicated task in front of you. So now his Sunday's good too. He's taking care of himself. He's doing his thing. He feels good. And now at every night, he has started to journal. And while he journals, he thinks about, okay, what am I grateful for? How do I feel about moving forward in this new identity that I have, which is what we do in our program? How do I feel about my week ahead? All of those wonderful things he has now started to journal every single night. So that's, in a nutshell, bro, a life audit is just looking at where your time is going and being brutally honest. And if you need help with that, you can get somebody else to help you with it and show them your schedule raw. But the best way to do that is to actually have a schedule that you know you have followed and that you have actual time and evidence of. Think of yourself as your own employee. You're clocking into work. You have to show your boss what you did. You can lie to yourself, which you've been doing for long enough. But you can't lie to someone who sees your entire schedule and goes, yo, what were you doing on a 6:30 on Wednesday? Oh, you were out getting drinks with Bob? Nah, bro. You could have moved Bob to Saturday. You could have moved Bob to a Friday evening after the gym. You could have moved Bob to a different day. Why that day? Now you set up your whole week so that you took energy from the rest of the week, and now you're going to move forward Thursday, Friday. You're going to feel a little bit sluggish. Okay? This is the tangible. Now let's talk about the intangibles. Intangibles. What does this mean? It means, what is his cognition comprised of? It means what, in a nutshell, it means what is he worried about? And one of the easiest ways to do this, is something I call a cognitive dump. Okay? Think about it like this. Your thoughts are a rampage of different things. You want to find the patterns in those thoughts and extract them so you know, okay, A, B, and C keeps happening again and again. E and F are like one off. I need to find solutions for A, B, and C. The only way to do that, one of the best ways, is something called a cognitive dump. How do you do a cognitive dump? You sit down on any day that you feel overwhelmed, okay? You feel stressed, you feel tired, you feel angry, any of these emotions, and you pull out your iPhone notes or Android for my Android mans, and you write down every single thing that comes to your mind. Every single thing. Like, I'll give you a very easy example. Cognitive dump. I'll do one live right now for me, right? So for example, I'm going to sit, deep breath in. What am I stressed about? Okay, thesis. I'm writing a thesis for my master's, capstone. Okay, I'm worried about making content. Okay, I'm worried about business. I'm worried about marriage. Like, I don't want to make sure my wife is good, my family. Okay, I'm worried about my capstone. Okay, I'm worried about my thesis. I'm worried about content. Okay, I'm worried about my business. I'm worried about business. I'm worried about YouTube. I'm worried about YouTube. I'm worried about business. What else? Okay, I'm worried about my gym grind. I'm worried about my diet. I'm worried about, I'm worried about my macros. I'm worried about my calories. Okay, I'm going to do that for as long as I possibly can. And now we can see, okay, there's a few things here that are coming up more than once. Capstone comes up, right? Family and business, and family and marriage don't come up that much. Okay, business comes up, right? Business comes up twice. Okay, gym and diet are kind of the same thing, so they come up. And now I can group these things together. So if we did Raj's cognitive dump, right? He would come up with, let's say, his cat, Priya, cat, work, gym, coaching. Because he's my client, right? So he's being coached. Okay, working on myself. Okay, book. Okay, prayer. Okay, Priya. Okay, cat. Okay, work. Okay, and he's worried about finances. Okay, and he keeps coming up with these thoughts, and he says them out loud, and he writes them down. And now he can come back and he say, Zayn, I'm worried about my cat. So that's because it's a pattern. Zayn, I'm worried about Priya. Okay, that's a pattern. Zayn, I'm worried about, finances is there. So he's going to categorize them in order from most of the thing that shows up the most to the thing that shows up the less. So I asked him, yo, what's wrong with your cat, bro? He goes, yo, he hasn't been eating. He feels off, yada, yada, yada. I don't know what's going on. And now he does something called help seeking, which is what a lot of people don't do. He's going to go and figure out what is going on with his cat that's worrying him. And he finds out after like a little bit of time, he spends some time, he finds out his cat's food is wrong. She's been eating the wrong food. Now he can go and give the cat the right food and figure out, okay, this is what's happening. When you get to the cognitions that are deeper, right? The deeper insights, I'm not good enough, right? I feel inadequate. I don't know if I'm gonna make it out, hustle. These things come up because your identity is not matching these things. The good enough principle, that's something a lot of men deal with, and that comes with time. When you prove to yourself that you're doing the things that you said you're gonna do, your brain automatically goes, hey, this guy is doing the things he said he would do. This guy is good. Therefore, I am good. And the key here is when he does his daily journals and he affirms these thoughts back to him, and he goes, oh, I am grateful for XYZ. I am proud of myself for XYZ. I did this today and it made me feel XYZ. When he repeats these things multiple times, let's say 30 times across the span of a month, these ideas that I'm not good, or I feel this, or I feel that, start to chip away slowly, because the brain's identity is now being changed, which is the entire crux of the program, is that you're starting to see yourself in a new way. Other than that, the intangibles in your life can come from past. They can come from inadequacies in your daily life. They can come from the way you are treating yourself. They can come from the way you're talking to yourself. And they can come from people in your environment. Turns out, oh my God, would you believe it, that Raj is actually very proud of himself, but his dad, every time he says something about work, puts him down. Raj is pretty proud of himself, but his buddy Bob keeps comparing him to others. Raj feels good about himself, but Priya keeps bringing up the wedding and stressing him out. And these things are actually tangible. These things right here, Priya, Bob, and Dad, are tangible. So now what he does is he tells Dad, hey, I don't want to talk about this, which is a boundary. He says, I don't want to talk about this, Dad. Or he stops asking Dad for reassurance in that way. Bob, that compares him to his other friends and stuff like that, he tells Bob, I am me, and I would appreciate if you wouldn't compare me to others. This is the hard part. This is a lot of stuff that people can't really do because you're scared to do it. Priya keeps stressing him out about the wedding, and now but here's the thing, because he's working on himself, now he goes to Priya, he says, honey, the wedding isn't for another year, and I'm still working on the finances. So I would appreciate if you could give me some time to really think and sit down and work on myself and not stress me out about finances. And the entire idea behind this is understanding what things in your life are toxic, what things in your life are non-toxic, and what things are you doing to yourself. And if you could come up with a tangible list of toxic things, even if it's dad, even if it's mom, even if it's your best BFF for life, you have to have some way of dealing with that and setting a boundary and telling them that, bro, it's not serving me right now, which is standing up for yourself. Non-toxic are just random things, bro. Random things you're stressed about. Your, belly sticking out, not having enough money. These are things that everybody deals with. Not having enough money, feeling off. All of these things are things that people pretty much struggle with. These are things that you can still struggle with, which is okay, because we're not trying to reduce your struggles. We're trying to create bandwidth. We are essentially trying to clear the way so that, let's say, this is you, right? Oh my God, let's say this is you. And before all of this, you were working from a place of, let's say, this and this is done, and you were trying to operate here. This is where you're trying to operate from. You were already filled at 80%. So now what we've done is essentially take you from that to a place where those things that are bothering you and that are affecting you and affecting your cognitions are now here, which instead of 20, because it was 80 before, now gives you 40. And having this extra space, well, guess what? Now you can spend that working on yourself. And that, my friends, is the entire idea behind a life audit, is understanding, okay, what do I need to do in order to clear the clutter of my life? You need to understand your tangibles. You need to understand your non-negotiables. What must you do no matter what? Go to work, clock in, all that. And you must understand where your time is going by being mindful and being present and understanding what it is that you're doing to yourself. And when you do all of these things, you have a very real conversation with yourself and you write every single thing down, you will actually come back and you'll be like, damn, I actually have a lot of time on my hands. Now you can spend that time doing things you actually like without feeling guilty because you're so overburdened and so stressed out. Hope this video helped. If it did, I'm glad. Subscribe, comment, like, and I'll see you for the next one.